Hey guys, how's it going? See, the cards were still up from yesterday, but that's okay. Or was it Tuesday? I don't remember. I can't remember my days. My stone's not even on my cards. Man, we are all discombobulated today, but that's okay. So we're going to do a reading. Yeah, I have a couple hours before my next commitment and just felt called to do one. So we have been doing a, I don't know what you would call it. I guess a meetup, maybe. A few of us, like 5 or 6 of us from our group therapy that ended, have decided to continue to meet weekly to just support each other, really. Keep ourselves going, keep ourselves accountable, keep ourselves, connected, I guess. And, we spent 13 weeks getting to know each other and making ourselves vulnerable with each other. And, for some people, it's really hard to trust. So for the 6 of us, or 7 of us, however many it is, we decided to maintain that sense of safety with each other. And I thought, I was thinking about this last night, like, I worry about that codependency thing, but, there's a fine line because narcissists and codependency are 2 sides of the same coin. It's all about attachments and inner child wounds, etc. And anyway, I thought, how beautiful is it that these 6 people who otherwise would have never met came together in such a way that we are able to validate each other and support each other and provide a safe place for each other in a way that might never have otherwise come to pass, right? Which leads me to the thought that everything happens for a reason, right? Everything is connected. Everything is, I don't know how I want to say this, by divine intervention sometimes, right? We talked yesterday a little bit about luck, and I don't see it as luck. Like there was more than 6 people in our group, but there was 6 that connected, right? So your tribe will find you, and it will be through methods in which you had no idea. So yeah, I don't know what that big long rant was all about, but figured I would share. I usually try to speak a little bit at the beginning of the reading while I'm shuffling, just to try to get the energy, right? Try to set the stage, if you will. And yeah, so let's get Spirit Source, God, Creator of the Universe, to let us know what this energy today is like. So can you give us the energy for today? Energy for today. Energy for today. Energy for today. Quiet. I even picked new music today. Kind of kind of different today. Can I get energies for today? Otherwise, I'm just gonna pick energies. Thank you. We've got the moon in reverse, clarity. This is things that were hidden will now be revealed. I love this moon card because I always see this little lobster at the bottom, and when I see lobster, it reminds me that the value of the lobster is in the person evaluating it, right? It's not the lobster itself. The lobster's just a lobster. It's not good. It's not bad. It just is. It shouldn't be expensive. It shouldn't be cheap. It just is. By virtue of the law of supply and demand, it is expensive. However, if you don't like lobster, I guess you would say it's pretty cheap because you never buy it, right? So the value we put on other things is completely subjective. And I think this is what's starting to become clear, right? This is where we are understanding that we are the universe. We are the dictionary. We are the assessor of our own lives, if you will. And it is both liberating and also feeling like the weight of responsibility has just become heavier. So light and heavy all at the same time. The moon, obviously being at night, you know, all this nighttime in the card, and the moon with the sun behind it almost looks like an eclipse. I don't know what eclipse season is. I'm not an astrologer, but there might be something to the eclipse for you. Also, because the moon is at night, this could be something being revealed to you in your dreams. I don't know about you guys, but I have had some really, really vivid, strange dreams lately. A lot of times that can come from just being more settled, right, at night, being more able to hit that REM state, if you will. And dreams are funny, right? Dreams are crazy, because a lot of times I think, dreams are, for me, a lot of times in first person perspective, right? I am the awareness that the dream is happening and I'm participating in the dream, but I cannot see myself. And I think, who was it? I don't know. It was a while ago. We were talking about dreams, and some of us just talk about some woo-woo stuff. And I thought, well, what if the person dreaming is not you? What if you are a part of someone else's dream and you're just acting in the first person? So yeah, I mean, it gets pretty deep, pretty wild, but either way, something to think about. Either way, it's in the stillness of your mind that clarity will be revealed, right? You can't think about it. If you are trying to find, I don't know, something at the bottom of the pool, and it is constantly with waves, right? There's a wave pool. You can't see the bottom of the pool to even know where to start looking. You have to let those waves calm. You have to let the water calm. You have to let the water still in order to see what's underneath. So that is what I feel like this energy is. It's we are starting to begin to be more observant, right? And a lot less emotional, right? Because water means emotion, and the metaphor I used is the pool. So the waves of emotion, right? They're calming. They're becoming still, and you're able to start to see underneath the surface of what needs to be healed, what needs to be addressed, what needs to be looked at. What are you catastrophizing? What are you living in the past with? What needs to just be let go of? It's a beautiful energy to be in. And especially when the clarity starts coming, because then you start to see all this crap is for a reason, right? And then you start to see the fruits of that labor, of all this shadow work. And, it's pretty amazing. And then you get the momentum, right? Because you start to see the proof. And it's pretty cool. Anyway, can I get some more information? Judgment about the moon. So judgment, phoenix rising out of the ashes, literally. It's, judging. So I don't know if anyone knows the story about the phoenix rising out of the ashes. I don't know the exact story. I do know that, everyone thought, or the observers, whatever, thought the phoenix was dead and it had burned, right? It had burned. And only the ashes remained. And the phoenix rose up out of the ashes, right? So it's in that destruction. It's in that fire. So what is fire? Fire is creation and passion and whatnot. So when you have that creation and passion, do not douse that for fear of judgment from others. I was actually in this meetup the other day, and we were talking about, I guess it was a couple weeks ago. I was saying something about one of my beliefs, one of my traditions, one of my rituals and whatnot. And I said, yeah, it's kind of goofy. And my friend Amanda said, I challenge you to stop calling it goofy. It's you. There's nothing to call it, with a negative connotation, basically. It's different. It's not necessarily goofy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, and beautiful that she brought that up. And I did not realize how I was presenting a self-judgment in that statement. I say those statements to avoid other people saying them to me. I figure if I say it first, I would take the wind out of their sails, right? Well, then I went to a new group, and I was introducing myself, and I said, I do everything backwards. I do everything wrong. And I used the word wrong. And the entire group like jumped down my throat and said, it's not wrong. Why would you consider it wrong? It was just not the best way or not the healthiest way or blah, 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 blah. But 3 times that week, people noticed and pointed out to me that I was in fact judging myself without even realizing it. Like I wasn't intentionally trying to offend myself or to put myself down. I just am aware that some of my belief systems are very different from others. And in pointing that out and owning it, it no longer has the power to hurt me if someone else says it, right? But in doing so, you know, the universe hears our words. It doesn't discriminate between what your meaning is and what the words are, right? It's just what the words are. And the universe would begin to deliver those things back to me. And that was my higher self pointing out to me that, look, you're using the wrong words here. You're using self-judgment. You are the phoenix rising out of the ashes. You are something that nobody ever expected to make a comeback, if you will. Appreciate that. Enjoy that. Quit judging yourself. This judgment card is the last card before the world. So this is the point at which we sit and we do that whole, risk assessment is what we would call it in software development, where you sit and you kind of look back on the journey, right, of what you've done, whatever project you're working on, and you say, how could we have done this better? Not saying what you did wrong, but how could we have done this better, faster, cheaper, with better quality? And again, not to say that what you did was bad, but we always strive to be a little bit better. And that's the energy we're in, right? We get this clarity. We get this, you know, just like the people pointing out to me that I was actually insulting myself without me knowing it. That clarity, you know, it was shown to me in that way, loudly last week. And, you know, the judgment of, okay, well, yes, I'm doing that, but I didn't know I was doing that. I will do my best to correct that. And you move on. It's not good. It's not bad. It just is. It's a learning experience. It's learning to understand that your purpose on this planet, which is what judgment also is, purpose. It's a final decision, right? It's which way are we going to go? We're going to turn left or right. You have to make that judgment call and be okay with it. That clarity, that purpose that comes with the end of the journey, of this particular piece of the journey, I should say, because the journey continues, but it's like maybe one step on the rung of the ladder of your journey, of your purpose, of your soul mission. And it's being aware that in fact is what it is, and that you can learn from that, grow from that, be the phoenix rising out of the ashes, and start your new journey on the next rung of the ladder. Okay, yeah, that was very wordy. I'm very sorry. But I felt like it needed a significant explanation of this clarity and judgment. We've got the moon and judgment, 2 major arcana. This is not going away, guys. This was going to happen no matter what you do to avoid it. This is happening. Now, at this point with judgment, your world coming next could be in reverse or upright. You could get the Fool. You could skip right over the world. But either way, this section, this piece, this lesson is coming to a close. Are you going to learn the lesson and be the phoenix rising out of the ashes, or are you going to repeat it? So therein lies the question. Can I get some information about what's coming? What is coming with this new clarity? What is coming with this new clarity? What do we have to look forward to? What do we need to be aware of? Spirit, Source, God, Creator. Tell us what we need to know. The Hermit. So another major arcana. Hermit is that's being alone, right? Look, he's out at a cabin in the woods. He's got his flashlight. He's looking around. He's got an owl on his staff. I like that because the owl signifies listening, doing more listening than talking. And think about an owl. An owl's head can turn 360 degrees. He can see from all perspectives, right? But we can only see one direction at a time. Look at his light. We have to literally make an effort to turn our heads, to move the flashlight, to see in different perspectives, right? We are nice and safe and warm in our cabin alone in the woods, but how much growth is there? Yes, there's introspection, but at some point you have to come back out to interact, to practice, if you will, right? It's the number 9 card. This is, again, more clarity. We've got 3 cards that represented a degree of clarity. You have to go within. You have to see yourself as that phoenix rising within the ashes. You have to still your mind. You have to shine the light on that which is being shown to you and reflect on it. Maybe journal about it. Maybe take that journey within, right? And maybe that's what's coming for you. Maybe you're going to be doing this. Maybe you've already done this. Maybe you're doing it now. But this will lead to the 8 of Swords. So too much of that can lead to overthinking. Too much of this, right? When you stay in that energy for too long and you haven't let yourself interact with others, let yourself live, if you will, you can overthink it to death, and you can end up feeling so afraid of the world that you don't take a step. You keep yourself stuck and bound and blind and unable to move with these thoughts, right? And the message, the blackbird, right, brings the message of you are the only one that can undo this, right? You, look how much water, very, very little water, dry of emotion, devoid of emotion, and just overthinking it to death. Don't try to reason things out. Feel the way, right? Feel the way out. There's no reason to it. There's not going to be a logical explanation. The more you try to logic it, the worse it's going to get. The more tied up you're going to get. So it's time to use that divine feminine energy, right? 8. If you turn 8 on its side, it's the infinity symbol. This happens over and over and over again. So be cautious of that overthinking energy coming from that introspection. Judging yourself, right? Devaluing yourself even, right? We walk a fine line, right? Like I said, codependent, narcissist, 2 sides of the same coin. Good, bad, 2 sides of the same coin. We got to find that middle way. Got to find that middle path where it's not good, it's not bad, it just is. It's that perfect balance. Have you ever tried to balance a quarter on its side? Next to impossible. It can be done. For me, I don't know. It's pretty tough, but you have to really balance. And it takes time, patience, and it's not something you can just do immediately and it stays there. And of course, it eventually falls all the time, right? Because there's an outside influence, outside energy. Since I saw it, we will take what we don't see coming as the Ace of Pentacles. This is a new resource, right? Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So this is the last card we're going to take. Ace of Pentacles normally would be like a new job or a raise or whatnot, but we've got it in the reverse. So it's kind of getting a little greedy. Maybe you're stressing out about money, right? Maybe you're not sure where the next step is. Maybe you feel like there's more money going out than coming in. Maybe you feel like there's more resources going out than coming in. Either way, this greed energy, this selfish type energy may come as a result of this overthinking, right? If you look for something hard enough, you will find it. If you think someone's going to take advantage of you and you're constantly looking for reasons to prove that, you'll find it if you want to, regardless of what their intentions are. So the overthinking can turn into this greed, this wanting to keep your energy close, wanting to keep your resources close. So it's a beautiful lesson that you're in, right? That you're introspected on, you're judging, that you are becoming clear on, but don't overthink it. Don't become greedy with it. Don't hide it from the world even. I don't know why I feel like hiding. Don't hide it. Speak your truth, right? Speak your truth. Swords about words and thoughts. Speak the truth to get it out, right? Say a word, take a sword. And free yourself of those thoughts. Free yourself of this lesson and move on to the next one. And the suspicious nature, or the, what is the word I want to use? Cynical nature that can come as a result of this overthinking, be aware of it. Be aware when you are just being cynical, when you are just being suspicious, and when things actually warrant whatever it is that you're doing. All right. I hope that made sense. But be aware that it's a possibility, right? When we do that much introspection, this is a possibility. But now that you know that, we can take steps to avoid it. So let's get a soul truth card and find out what can we do to avoid this. What advice do we have for the reading today? What's the advice for our soul? What does our soul want to tell us? Our higher self, spirit source, God, creator, the universe. What do we need to know? What can we practice that will bring us? There's 3 cards, 4 cards. Yeah, that's a little too many. We're going to shuffle one more time. Let's see if I can get just one. We just need one soul truth card today to go with this reading. What's the advice for today? Advice for today. What's the advice for today? Advice for this energy. Oh, I hate when the cards take too long because I feel like, ugh. All right. One more. And then I choose. Advice for today. Advice for today. All right, I'm choosing. This is what we're going to do. There's our card. When was the last time I couldn't stop laughing or smiling? Do you remember that? I remember that. It was actually last Saturday. I was at a party with my aunt and her friends, and we were having a good time. Yeah, we were laughing and smiling all day. Go back to a moment when you laughed so hard you almost peed your pants, or did. Feel the laughter grow in your body, your cheeks hurting and your eyes watering. Maybe there was even a snort or two. Laughter is healing. It reminds us to take life less seriously and to find joy in the little things. Note to self, laugh more often. Today's soul action, make somebody laugh today. So if you make somebody else laugh, you know, laughter is contagious, guys. You will, we talked about this yesterday with Monsters, Inc. Laughter is more valuable energetically than fear, than hate, than scary things, right? It literally will turn your entire mood. Have you ever been in a fight with someone and they say something funny and you try so hard not to laugh because you know you're going to feel better? Has that ever happened to you? It's happened to me a bunch of times. But laughter can truly heal relationships, situations, emotions, anything. Like, laughter truly is the best medicine. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Go make somebody laugh today, all right? We'll talk in a minute. Much love and light. Hey, guys. How's it going? So watch the reading. So we had the number 6 quite a bit today. I kept saying, I said like 5 and 6, and then I said 6 and 7, and then I said 6 and 6 again. So 6, of course, is the number of love. So, and a lot of people freak out with 666, but it's really not an evil number. It's actually a triplicate of love. So, excuse me, guys, sorry. An abundance of love in the energy today, or whatever 6 means to you. Maybe it means something different to you, but that's what it means to me. For names today, we had Amanda. I don't think there was any other names. I didn't write them down anyway. And let's see. So I started the reading with the cards still up from the last reading. So I don't normally do that. And you guys don't normally see me take the cards down and shuffle the first few times. So I felt like that was significant. And no, like, I think it was Tuesday whenever I did the reading, the last one, I was talking about living in the past, right? And so I felt like that was kind of like a little segue from that reading into this one. Living in the past versus reflecting on the past, very different energies, right? So with the clarity and the judgment and whatnot, I feel like we're coming out of that living in the past and starting to just reflect on it and let it go. Good stuff, guys. Wow, I am so sorry. My voice was fine the whole time. And now it's not. So maybe speak your truth a little bit. I know I said that in the reading today. I didn't write it down, but by virtue of the fact that I cannot clear the frog out of my throat, I would say somebody's out there, maybe me, who knows, is needing to speak their truth. And make sure it's the truth, right? We talked a lot today with the Phoenix and whatnot about judging yourself incorrectly without even realizing it. So yeah, there's that. Then I said the word set the stage. In addition to set the stage, I talked about movies a lot, right? And then I even said that you were acting in someone else's dream. So a lot of movie references the last couple readings, but so I feel like whatever was trying to be shown or revealed in that message about the movies was not was not fully defined, explained. I don't know what the right word is, but think about it, guys. Life is a movie, right? And you are the actor in your own movie. There was, I think it was in the Fifth Agreement book, where in the beginning he talks about everybody in their own movie theater watching a movie, right? And it's essentially the same movie with the same characters, but the characters appear very differently in everybody's movie. So who I see myself as, or how I see myself, is not the same way other people see me. My son may see me differently than my daughter does, may see me differently than my father does, may see me differently than my mother does, etc. You are a character in their story, in their movie. It's all subjective. There's no fast and hard truth about the reality. How do I want to say this carefully? And I even said it in the reading, you know, if you look hard enough for something, you'll find it. Because that would be your reality. You know, if you are constantly believing that people are taking advantage of you, you will find that people will be constantly taking advantage of you. You direct, act, produce everything, your own movie. So be aware of that and write a different story. Play a different part, if you will. You know, a lot of times, codependents and so forth, we have to play the part of the savior. You know, we're the only ones that can fix anything. But we do everybody a disservice with that because they never learn to fix it themselves. So let's learn to be, instead of the savior, let's be the supporter. Or the, what do they call it? Instead of the lead in the play, we can be the supporting character, or the, what is that word on the Oscars? Best supportive actor, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, try a different part in the movie. I talked a lot today too about light and heavy, good and bad, narcissist, empath, or codependent, whichever you want to call it. I think they're pretty much the same thing. Being two sides of the same coin. And it is really, you know, one cannot exist without the other. I often use this metaphor of the chicken and the egg. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, they had to incarnate together because they are interdependent on each other. Not codependent, interdependent. Good cannot exist without bad. Tall cannot exist without short. Light cannot exist without heavy. And they are, in fact, the same thing. I'm thinking of a movie called Lorenzo's Oil. And at one point, his parents ended up getting a doctorate by doing the research on how to help cure the disease that Lorenzo had, and it was the myelin was being eaten away in his brain, so the connections that the neurons were making could not be made anymore, and he was losing functions. And it was in a dream, actually, oddly enough, that his father had at the library when he fell asleep researching this, and it kind of came to him in a sense of in a way of clarity, I guess, through the dream, that the enzyme that processed, you know, whatever enzyme he was lacking was made by enzymes, I forget, whatever. Okay, I'm not scientific, but he was using paper clips, chains, to demonstrate it. Anyway, go watch this movie because I'm butchering it bad. But either way, it was the same enzyme that was processing both. And so they had to flood his system with the bad enzyme in order for him to be able to create the good enzyme. But I think, something like that. Go look it up. Very cool story. And actually they use that therapy to this day. And they have been able to, basically, once the disease is diagnosed, they've eradicated it. So there's a cure. The other thing I talked about was I cannot see myself in a dream. Interesting. If you guys ever are so inclined to listen to Alan Watts, a British philosopher from the 1970s, he actually died in 1973. But his son, Mark Watts, is actually very... oh my gosh, my words are escaping me today. But anyway, he put all of Alan Watts's old lectures on podcast. And he talks about, getting out of your own way, not being able to see yourself. And if you think about it, you can't. Like in a dream, a lot of times, at least I don't see what I look like. So I don't know who I am. I could be that other person in the dream. And then I talked about, acting in the dream. You're just acting. It's just a story, if you will. So write a different story. And try to see yourself. In order to see yourself, you need a mirror. And when we talk about our inner selves and so forth like that, obviously you can't see that in a mirror. But our relationships act as a mirror for that. They talk about projection and transference and so forth. And when you become aware that you're projecting, it is in fact the mirror to show you, right? And I said the word observing twice. We have to observe ourselves objectively, not subjectively, as if we were the third person, in order to see the things that we need to see for that clarity to come. And then at one point I said the phoenix was rising within the ashes instead of from the ashes. You can start to rise before the ashes settle, right? You can be from within the ashes. Look within. Within was a big thing today. And then the last thing I want to talk about was the owl on the staff of the hermit. And I was thinking the word staff, it's obviously in the card, it was a stick, if you will. But think about your staff. Who's your staff? Who do you employ to listen to you? Who do you employ to bat around different perspectives with? Who is that safe person that is on your staff? All right, think about that. And if you need to do some hiring and firing, then maybe you need to do that. So I'm gonna leave it there, guys. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Much love and light.